In the headlines, DHTA executive to facilitate the easier drawdown of aid bank loan facilities for its members, WAWU to increase union dues as membership dwindles, and DPP optimistic her office will see a reduction in the backlog of cases this year. I'm Andrea Louis with the Channel 5 News, back with the details after this.
Get ready to open the best gifts with Flow this Christmas. Sign up for a new broadband or TV service with free installation, or sign up for a broadband and TV bundle and get 40% off broadband for the first 2 months. Plus, get a chance to win a 55-inch smart TV, 1 year or 6 months of free service. Enjoy big-time entertainment and big speeds this Christmas with Flow. Terms and conditions apply. Visit discoverflow.co for more.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evil.
Red cheese, gold rings, all black, everything creeping through the night.
Anywhere you are.
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
There's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evil.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, the executive of the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association is helping to put measures in place to ensure that stakeholders will this year have easier access to the funds available to them at the aid bank. In August 2016, a special loan facility was established at the aid bank to the tune of $15 million to help those in the hotel and tourism sector further develop their properties and services. However, over the past years, there have been concerns from those in the industry on the difficulty they face in accessing these funds. Executive Vice President of the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association, Kevin Francis, says talks are ongoing with the aid bank on how tourism stakeholders can better access the loan facility.
We've been in a constant back and forth with the aid bank and the DHTA just to ensure that our members' considerations and the stakeholders' considerations are taken as it relates to how you dispense the money, what the money is used for, and in the media you've seen that they've expanded the loan facility to incorporate more stakeholders. We're actually speaking with the aid bank right now to work along with them to inform our members about exactly what are the new updates that they have, why is it important, and how they can take advantage of it. So we'll be doing that for January and February.
Francis says 2018 was a challenging year for the hotel and tourism sector, but hopes those involved in the industry would be able to access the funds this year.
In 2018, the barriers were very high. You know, it is a capital-intensive industry, and as a result, we would need the capital to secure funds, and members and other stakeholders don't necessarily have the additional collateral to secure these loans. So no, a lot of our members were not drawing down on these funds, but hopefully this year with this new plan, new strategy, new updates, and working along with the aid bank, we can see how we can get as many tourism participants in there, whether they're members or not.
The tourism loan facility was established from CBI funds and was initially available at a 3% interest rate with a 1-year grace period. However, after Hurricane Maria, the interest rate was dropped to 2%. In other top stories, members of the Waterfront and Allied Workers Union, WAWU, could see an increase in dues this year. This as the union's membership dwindled after Hurricane Maria in 2017. Secretary-Treasurer of the Waterfront and Allied Workers Union, Curtis Augustus, says the reduction in numbers led to a loss in revenue and was among the challenges which the union faced in 2018.
We lost 40 members in what is known as Kubuli, but it's Dominica Breweries and Beverages. So we lost 40 members there. But we also lost workers in courts where the entire technical staff was made redundant, and the cashiers, because courts intended to replace the cashiers with kiosks. We also had the situation where a number of people in grains wholesale were in fact laid off during the passage and just after the passage of Maria. You would know also that J. Nassif completely shut down. So all that impacted on the revenue of the union. And this is something that we have to address in going forward.
As a result of the contraction in membership, combined with other matters, existing members of the WAWU could expect an increase in financial contributions towards the union.
We have to address the question of the consolidation and the expansion of the membership to take care of those that we have lost through Maria. Important in that, though, we have to look at the question of the union dues, because the union dues that we now operate under, we have been doing that for the past 20 or so years. And whereas we experience increase in utilities and others, there is not the dues to counteract those increases. So we must seriously address that because of the challenges that we now have in terms of representation and the movement that we have to do.
A recruitment drive and training of shop stewards are among the many activities on the cards for the union in 2019.
Recruitment, because as the law states, you need 51% to be given representational status with management. So there's another 49% that is floating, and that now is the responsibility of the shop steward to make sure that they could in fact organize those and get them to be part of the union. And then we have to, of course, renegotiate all of the collective agreements that we have. And we have some 43 departments that we negotiate for. We must strengthen and broaden our shop steward structure. In that regard, we have to invest in education and training.
Over to the courts, Director of Public Prosecution Evelyn Baptist is hoping to see a reduction in the accumulated cases in 2019. Here is Julian Morris with more.
Her comments come as the court realizes what she says is a backlog of cases. Baptist says up to early January there were 75 cases which have passed the committal stage and are awaiting trial in the High Court.
We have about 75 of those matters. To date, we received a couple of them this week. However, before that, we had a list of about 41 matters, all of which we have dealt with various applications, etc., during the case management stage. So we have those 41 matters. Most of them is for trial. We have another segment of matters in which indictment have not been filed yet, so they are pending indictment, and we have some which depositions are being prepared. Right? So in all we have 75 matters.
Baptist says the backlog exists in part due to Hurricane Maria, but there are other factors at play.
I consider it a backlog, and it's considered a backlog based on the assessed trial time that each of the matter may take. Right? So, for example, we have a lot of murders, more murders than before. So we look at an assessed trial time, and it will be based on the number of witnesses, the complexity of the matter, etc. So based on that, we know that we have a backlog. So the backlog really is led by the type of matter, the nature of the serious matter, the complexity of the case, the amount of witnesses.
The DPP reported that the court has made some headway in case management in 2018 and hopes to see reduced trial time as a result.
We case managed over 40 cases during the year, and case management involved not just coming to court and looking at the file and finding out what was wrong with the pages or so. It really involves hearing of preliminary applications before the court, preparing submissions, affidavit, taking witnesses, and we did a lot of that. It was very time consuming when we began doing case management. However, we are hoping that having done the case management, some of those ancillary procedures will not come up during the trial, hopefully, and so the trial time may be a bit shorter.
The Office of the Director of Public Prosecution has the constitutional responsibility for prosecutions in the state.
On to matters of trade, major changes are to be made to the harmonized system of customs duties, expanding the system to include a number of products which were not previously covered. Here again is Julian Morris.
The HS 2007 is the harmonized system of duties and the product names used by customs to classify goods by a tariff line and duty. The updated version, HS 2017, is expected to feature significant changes.
Presently, custom is using HS 2007, which is 10 years ago. And there has been a lot of developments that have happened during that time. Actually, there are going to be 233 new amendments that will be engaged in the HS 2017. And what the amendments mean is that you're going to have a wider range of products. So that products that were at one time not recognized within the construct of the HS are now going to be recognized. So I'll give a few examples. Biodegradable products. The HS 2007 did not recognize biodegradable products. So every glass that looks like plastic that would come into the country would simply be attached a 20% tariff and seen to be plastic glass, whether it is made of bagasse or cornstarch or any of the other biodegradable products. But now it is going to be recognized. The HS 2017 has moved and understood that there are new types of products being manufactured and invented every day, and it is going to engage some of them.
Hybrid vehicles were not recognized in HS 2007, but they will be in HS 2017.
So the government found it prudent to put this particular system in place so that, persons who are bringing in new products, customs is not, or they and customs are not going to have a difficulty on where do we classify it, how do we classify it, what is the tariff line to be applied to it, what is the duty to be applied to it. The HS 2017 will take care of all that. So it is a singular effort in a large way to engage the importation of goods on island in a structured way and in a modern way, in a comprehensive way.
You are watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
Get ready to open the best gifts with Flow this Christmas. Sign up for a new broadband or TV service with free installation, or sign up for a broadband and TV bundle and get 40% off broadband for the first 2 months. Plus, get a chance to win a 55-inch smart TV, 1 year or 6 months of free service. Enjoy big-time entertainment and big speeds this Christmas with Flow. Terms and conditions apply. Visit discoverflow.co for more.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evo.
Ripped jeans, gold rings, all black, everything creeping through the night.
Anywhere you are,
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
there's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evo.
Welcome back. CARICOM Secretary General Ambassador Erwin LaRocque has reminded the region's young people that they are equal partners in the struggle against youth violence.
Ambassador LaRocque spoke at the opening of the Caribbean Summit on Youth Violence Prevention in Guyana. The Secretary General said these fora provide an opportunity for the region's young people to be fully engaged in providing solutions to problems that affect them. He said the engagement of youth at all levels of the decision-making process is critical for the successful outcome of interventions. The two-day summit ends on Wednesday. It attracted leaders from youth movements, governments, civil society, development organizations, and academia. Their goal is to design transformational youth-centered action to combat crime and violence and address constraints that youth activists face in improving safety outcomes in their communities. The summit was organized by USAID in partnership with the Government of Guyana, CARICOM Secretariat, UNICEF, CDB, Commonwealth Secretariat, OECS Commission, and the Caribbean Learning for Youth Networking and Change Sessions Network links.
Local manufacturers encouraged to take advantage of protections being put in place to help boost that sector within CARICOM. Article 164 of the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas provides preferential treatment for small manufacturers from the least developed countries of CARICOM. Imported products manufactured by the most developed countries of CARICOM and third countries like the United States will attract import duty or new tariffs of 70% and 100%. The idea is to promote local industries within the less developed countries of CARICOM. Through this tariff regime, the governments of less developed CARICOM countries will protect and enhance their manufacturing sector.
You call upon, the persons involved in furniture manufacturing. Now is your time. There's a lot of furniture to be built in the country post-Hurricane Maria. Build the furnitures, you have the buffer from the government, you do it as reasonably cost as you possibly can, but take advantage of that buffer. Because any furniture now coming into the region, into the OECS region or the region, the least developed country area, is going to be subject to those tariffs when the other countries have put their measures in place. Now, the cabinet decision was effected, the implementation date 1st of January 2019. However, prudency would dictate that you ensure that you have the supporting legislation to put the initiative legislatively in place. And so we are in the process of doing that, and within the next week, 2 weeks, we should have a legally instituted regime that would back up our obligations to the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas.
Manufacturers of solar water heaters and wooden furniture are among companies which qualify for protection under Article 164 of the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas. And Deputy Political Leader of the United Workers' Party, Joshua Francis, says he will not back down in spite of efforts to distract him from his political ambitions. The attorney at law held a live news conference on Monday where he spoke on a number of issues, including the breakup of his family. In the midst of expressing his concerns about the impending breakup of his family and eventual divorce, Francis doubled down on his determination to give his all for the Roseau South constituency and the United Workers' Party.
I will also not relent in the national fight for the restoration of good governance, the advancement of every single brother and sister, and progress of one another on our nature island. This fight is for a cause far, far greater than mine. This fight is a fight for integrity in governance and state institutions, not individual and or character-based distractions. There can be decency in the prosecution of certain matters, but the opponents of truth do not want this. They try to shame us away from bloated and gloried versions of lies. The other side would love to break me, but they can't, and they will never break me. If they could succeed in silencing me, they would, but they can't silence me. If they could put me aside, they would, but they can't put me aside. As long as I am favored by God and man, the efforts to harm me must continue in vain.
Francis says he will not be deterred or derailed.
Tell my accusers and attackers and prosecutors and persecutors that their time is up, and no amount of legal, political, economic, financial, or sociological machination, not even spiritual machinations, will steer us away from victory, for victory is at hand, brothers and sisters. As we move forward, we will clean up this attitude of tearing people down. We will break down barriers of division and live in a more harmonious Dominica, a country which shall live up to its destined expectations. We will create the environment to build families, celebrate unity, and make Dominica the envy of the world.
To end the news, the headlines again. DHTA executive to facilitate easier drawdown of aid bank loan facilities for its members. WAWU to increase union dues as membership dwindles, and DPP optimistic her office will see a reduction in the number of backlogged cases this year. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Andrea Louis, and to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us next time.